delta stream. Why is this so transformative, pardon the pun, for the industry? Because when a computer can think of anything as a language, it can learn by simply getting guidance on predicting what comes next. I hope you can start seeing how this scales across different modalities, especially considering apps like ChatGPT are the fastest growing in history, which means significant real-world RLHF. Every time you use ChatGPT, your interaction is going into the system. Your identity might be secure, but your information is not. You probably heard the story about Samsung employees accidentally leaking proprietary information. I'm sure they are not the only ones who have suffered from this, as the Wild West of this application allows for us to get so much more done to help think through tasks and to act as a co-pilot. But all that data goes into the black box of ChatGPT, so it can get increasingly better at predicting the next word. At this point, there is no retrieving what you input to ChatGPT, which is why Italy temporarily banned it in response to the data breach involving user conversations and payment information. OpenAI quickly put together an option that allowed users to turn off the data sharing with the model and has announced enterprise options that also keep it from feeding the larger model. They also included an age verifier for Italy because of the specific laws regarding child data there. This is a great example of the iterative game OpenAI is playing and a big part of their philosophy. Release things in a deliberate sequence, test for holes, patch them, and test again. I would also 100% bet they are using ChatGPT to help them generate and test ideas at a blinding rate. It's important to mention that Europe approaches privacy laws differently than the US. The General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, puts a lot more control of data in the hands of individuals and requires organizations collecting data to give people the right to delete it or show what data has been collected about them. Except OpenAI is having difficulty doing that because they don't actually have a way to reliably retrieve or delete information because it's in a complex neural network with 1 trillion parameters. It takes the needle in a haystack to a whole other level. Press pause. I hope this gives you pause. Let me say this again. We currently have no way to retrieve the data you input to it, and as they update the model, everything private you have shared could potentially be spit out from someone else's account by prompting it correctly once an updated version is released. This accelerating process is a compounding one, and the generative large language multimodal models, it's hard to pronounce, the golems, have been engaged on multiple fronts in a decentralized fashion. Many for fun, or to be more productive. You've likely tried these technologies and recognized the revolutionary nature of them. It's almost addictive, right? Novel in some fundamental way. And Moloch stands behind us, barely a shadow, whispering in our ears, "Isn't this amazing? Think of all the good it will do for you and others. Think of all the money you can make. Just keep using it. Just one more prompt. What harm is there?" And we listen, because on an individual level and in the short term, we have difficulty seeing what we're sacrificing.